Facing Alfredo Duvergel of Cuba, vying for the gold in the light middleweight division. And now the pressure squarely on David Reid. Not since the 1948 games in London has the United States been shut out of a gold medal in boxing.
You know, he may be uniquely qualified among all these United States boxers to deal with this pressure. For one thing, his personal coach, Al Mitchell, also happens to be in his corner as the Olympic coach. And throughout this competition, David Reid has shown the ability to put distractions aside.
And there is David Reid, who says he walked through the athletes' village yesterday, was struck by the lack of familiar faces. 4 of his American teammates have already left town. As far as U.S. hopes for the gold, it has come down to 1, and David Reid is the 1 as he goes up against Alfredo Duvergel, 28 years old, out of Guantanamo, Cuba. And there's some rooting interest for both Duvergel and Reid. The Olympic gold medalists, Teofilo Stevenson of Cuba, 3-time gold medal winner, and Muhammad Ali making his first visit to the boxing venue, getting together here prior to the Reid-Duvergel bout as we check out the tail of the tape.
We take a look and we see that they are very close. Duvergel is a lefty, David Reid is a righty. That is the main difference between those two. They will be on the inside banging away, I can assure you. Scoring by computerized system here in the amateur system. You must land with the white knuckle portion of the glove. Standing 8 count, 3 in a round, 4 in a match will stop the bout.
And the referee from Bulgaria, Simeon Stojadinov, fighting for the gold in the light middleweight division at 156 pounds. Duvergel, a southpaw, began boxing at the age of 11, says he'll eventually become a boxing coach. David Reid has benefited from a favorable draw surging through his 4 bouts.
He has looked very, very impressive. He's shown us 2 different styles. Early on, he was more of a slugger. In the last 2 bouts, he has boxed more. He and Duvergel have never met each other, primarily because even though Reid has a lot of international amateur experience, he was in the 147-pound weight division just this past year, moved up to 156, and it was a very profitable move for him. He's much better at this weight class, even though some people doubted it.
And Duvergel got here with 4 impressive wins, including a 28-19 slugfest. You can hear the chant for USA with a minute gone by in this opening round. Also, Duvergel, a taller version of his Cuban teammate Juan Hernandez, who, as it turns out, is 3-0 lifetime against David Reid.
Reid had Hernandez as his nemesis in the 147-pound division. The difference, though, is that Hernandez, I believe, is much quicker with his hands and also gives you much more of a lefty style. I think that Duvergel is much better for Reid because Reid can land the straight right and the lead left, which he couldn't do against Hernandez.
Just past the midway point of this first round for the gold in the light middleweight division at 156 pounds.
Duvergel doing very well on the inside there against Reid. Al Mitchell told Reid to move in and out, land his shots, and then get outside. He may have stayed too long in there with Duvergel, although David Reid has the ability to slug on the inside. Reid missed the right hand, Marvin. He told me yesterday, I think I can land that right hand. I believe that's one punch I can get in against Duvergel. It hasn't been effective here in round 1.
So the caution against Duvergel for a push.
Duvergel has been very quick here in round 1. His hand speed is better than I've seen it in other bouts.
And the light middleweight division has been won by a Cuban at each of the last 2 Olympics in which they have competed in 1992 and 1980. Remember, Cuba boycotted both the 84 and 88 games. We're final seconds of this first round. David Reid of Philadelphia, Alfredo Duvergel of Cuba. Spring team going up against Brazil, and then on to Olympic Stadium for what promises to be a special conclusion to these Olympic Games. We are on for round 2. David Reid claims he does not feel the pressure, although like Oscar de la Hoya back in '92, he is the only United States boxer in the finals.
An edge for Duvergel, as it should be in the first round. He was very effective on the inside against Reid and continues early in this round to be that way. Reid has had a hard time getting away from the counter punches of Duvergel. That's a little bit of a surprise to me.
That right hand sent Reid stumbling. U.S. coach Al Mitchell has been harping on the point that the first round is so important. United States boxers right throughout the Olympics getting off to slow starts.
And Reid has been an exception to that rule, but here finds himself at least a little bit behind. You know, he has faced a southpaw in this tournament, Pavel Polakovic.
Oh, a strong left hand, and it leads to a standing 8. Duvergel connecting with the left hand. Remember, 3 standing 8s and or a knockdown in 1 round, 4 for the bout, and the bout is stopped.
It's interesting, as I was pointing out, that he faced another lefty who gave him a little bit of trouble. Duvergel lands the straight left, which of course is the punch from a left-hander that is difficult for a right-hander to deal with. Reid is not cutting off the ring. He is following Duvergel around and putting himself in position to get hit with yet another counterpunch. David Reid has been so effective in this tournament, in these Olympics. This is the first moment that we've actually seen him a little bit befuddled and not able to deal with the style of the opponent in front of him.
And this crowd of 9,300 here at the Alexander Memorial Coliseum trying to get Reid going. Coming up on 1 minute left in the second round. Another good left from Duvergel.
David Reid is underusing the left hook and is not getting on the inside, and that's the reason why he's doing poorly in this bout. It is quite apparent now he cannot box Duvergel from the outside. They thought he might be able to. He's going to have to get right inside and rip those hooks to Duvergel if he has any hope of winning.
And again, Duvergel effective. He has been scoring with the left hand.
His last effort, Duvergel's last effort, was not a good one. In his semifinal match, he was taken to the limit, had a very, very tough time winning, and some thought that made him suspect for this match. This is the best effort Duvergel has given in the Olympics, period.
Showing confidence, has the hands down. He's able to move in and out. As David Reid has had difficulty solving the style of the southpaw Alfredo Duvergel.
You know, Reid is a power puncher, and he's going to need that because he might need to knock out Duvergel to win, or certainly may need to create some standing 8 counts and hurt him.
Caution against Duvergel for actually made contact with the wrist. As this second round concludes.
You got to hurt him, and you got to stay on him.
You got to make it a rumble, Dave, and punch hard.
When you're pulling up, that's every score you got when you pull out.
Well, David Reid has to dig himself out of a big hole, and this is why. The straight left hand of Duvergel has been an excellent weapon. That one created a standing 8 count, and it created a terrific second round for Duvergel.
And our coach Al Mitchell told Reid, forget about boxing. In effect, he needs a stoppage. There's no way. He's down by the considerable margin. He was actually shut out on points in the second round, 8-zip. He's down 15-5, and Reid trying to move on to the attack.
And Al Mitchell told him, you have to throw the overhand right in there. There it is!
Duvergel is hurt. David Reid connecting. It's all over. David Reid has stopped Alfredo Duvergel, trailing badly, down 15-5 in the third round. In dramatic fashion, he has won the gold.
That man, Al Mitchell,
second round. He was up 15-5, and Reid came out looking for the knockdown, and he did just that in a stunner. And this the only gold medal bout of these games decided by a stoppage. What a moment for David Reid and the coaching staff. Al Mitchell remembers David Reid walking into his North Philadelphia Recreation Center 11 years ago. Reid only 10 years old at the time.
Your winner from the red corner.
Le vainqueur dans le coin rouge.
From the USA.
Des États-Unis d'Amérique.
David Reid.
The crowd here at the Alexander Memorial Coliseum responding to the lone gold medal winner for the United States, David Reid. There was the possibility that the U.S. could have been shut out of a gold in boxing, not since the 48 games in London had that occurred. And here is another look at the big punch from Reid. Now let's go over to Beasley Reese.